Foreclosed, bank-owned, REO. These three labels equal one great opportunity. Today we're going to talk about buying a foreclosed home. Today we're going to talk about buying a bank-owned home or a foreclosure. They are similar to a traditional sale, but there are some differences in purchasing a foreclosed home. So today I'm going to explain to you what those differences are and what you can expect when you're purchasing a foreclosure. There's a misconception out there that you can buy a foreclosed home really cheap. That is not always the case. Keep in mind, the bank has already lost a ton of money on that home because Mr. and Mrs. Borrower decided not to pay the mortgage for, say, 5 years. So they're trying to recoup as much money as possible on the sale of that home. So what they'll do is hire a real estate agent to come in and do a comparative market analysis to determine the fair market value of that home. Once they determine the price, then they will go out and put it on the market for sale. Now, when you're buying a foreclosed home, can you use a mortgage or does it have to be cash? Yes, you can use a mortgage when you're buying a home. Only thing you have to think about is if there's damage to that home or it's too distressed, your bank may not approve that loan for you. So there are some cases where you'll see a bank-owned property and that bank will take cash offers only because they know that property is distressed badly. They know a bank is not going to give that purchaser a loan based on the condition of that home. Now let's talk about making an offer on a foreclosed home. If there's one thing I can suggest, I highly recommend do not lowball that offer. I will guarantee you that bank is going to reject it immediately. Remember, they're trying to recoup the money they've lost on this house. So they're trying to get asking or close to asking price on that house. So now your offer's accepted, now what? So this is where the differences come into play between buying, through a traditional sale versus a foreclosure. Once that offer is accepted, the bank wants to close quickly. On average, they like to close between 30 and 45 days. Now, your next step is you're going to have to get your home inspection done. In the state of New Jersey, buyers have up to 14 days to complete the home inspection contingency. When you're buying a foreclosure, the banks are going to tighten that deadline just by a week. So anywhere from 7 to as little as 5 days, you have to get your home inspection done. Now, with your home inspection, keep in mind this is for your knowledge only. You cannot ask for repairs, you cannot ask for any credit. The bank will not do it. You are truly buying this home as is. However, there are some rare cases where if there's a major structural defect in the home or if there's an oil tank buried in the backyard, the bank will have to take responsibility with that repair. I had sold a foreclosed home and there was an issue with the septic tank and the bank had to take responsibility for that and they had to make that repair prior to them closing on the sale. So another item that's different from the traditional sale versus buying a foreclosed home, the buyers are responsible for some things that sellers are typically responsible for. For example, the buyer has to obtain the CCO or smoke certificate through the town. Now normally that's a seller's responsibility, but again, the bank owns this property. They're not going to take care of that. So you are going to have to set up an appointment with the town, set up a fire inspection to make sure it meets the town codes. And that does cost you some money. On average, that could be around $50 to $75. Another difference is that the buyer is also responsible for the real estate transfer tax. In New Jersey, the real estate transfer tax is 1% of the purchase price. So when you're buying a foreclosed home, you gotta make sure you set money aside to cover those costs at closing. So this is just a brief synopsis on the process of purchasing a foreclosed home. Now, it's not for everybody. Especially those first-time buyers. You're on a strict budget as it is. You're buying your first home. If you don't have the extra cash set aside to deal with repairs and renovations, I don't recommend it. However, if you're up for the challenge and you'd like to buy a foreclosed home, there are 103 foreclosed homes that are active on the New Jersey Multiple Listing Service right now. If you would like that list, click the link below and I'd be happy to send you that detailed report. If you want to know all things real estate in Bergen County, make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll know when my next video posts to the channel. I'm Jackie Baker with Coldwell Banker. Thanks so much for watching.